Good morning. How you doing? Just done another little morning walk. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that morning walk is part of my morning well-being ritual. And part of, so I'm going to talk about that actually, and to be more specific, talk about getting daylight at the start of the day. There's so much research out there now, aligned around sleep, and I know it sounds like I'm going off at a tangent, but bear with me. Part of our well-being is based on sleep. Sleep is a significant factor for our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. But actually, part of the basis of sleep is on the thing called our circadian rhythms, and part of that is how that is initiated in the body is to do with what we do during the day. Obviously, all the different types of things that we do, but daylight and what it does, and the triggering of the circadian rhythms and all the different chemicals within our bodies. Daylight is part of that. And so the research says part of setting ourselves up for the day, and then also for our sleep, is to get daylight as early as we possibly can during the day. First light if possible. Obviously that's not possible for everybody because lifestyles and things doesn't work out for absolutely everybody, but for the large majority of us who work more traditional jobs and will generally go to bed at when it's dark and wake up later on. Obviously that also depends on where you live in the world, because or whether the country that you're in adjusts the clocks for daylight savings time and all those kinds of things, right? But within reason, the aim is to try and get daylight, get out there when it's when the sun rises as early as you possibly can. Now there's no kind of hard and fast rule about this. It's as early as you can, get out. If it's there's a great podcast, video podcast that I'll share from Andrew Huberman. It's a really short one. He goes into the science of it. It's a bit technical, but if you want to learn some more about the technicalities of it from the science side, then you can check it out. But it's really simple. If it's really bright, sun's up. In fact, let me take a step back. There's something that is different about the types of rays that the sun gives off first thing in the morning that isn't available at any other time during the day. So that's the reason, or that's one of the reasons why it's important to get daylight. I'm not going to say sunlight because it's daylight. First thing in the day. There's something in those rays that triggers the rays get into the eye, that triggers us to set us up properly for the day. So that's the first thing. Then what they talk about is getting a certain amount of daylight at that time in the day. So first off, it is getting it if the sun's out, because then you probably only need about 10 minutes. Andrew talks about it in that video. If it's a little bit cloudy, then you might need more like 15 to 20 minutes, and if it's really overcast, then you probably need to be out in it for about 30 minutes or so. So it's just about getting the particular rays that are available only at the time in the morning, getting them as early as possible, to help circadian rhythms, and therefore that'll ultimately help your well-being, but also it's an important part of the sleep that we need to get. Now, I've been doing this for a few years now, so I've figured out, kind of my routine, but even then, when I'm in the UK, it changes. When I go to different countries, it kind of changes, especially if the time zone is different. And so, you've got to be able to adapt. And that's why this thing about our well-being, isn't something that's set in stone and that's fixed, one, done, and that's it. You got to work on it. You got to adapt. You got to keep changing. You got to keep learning. So, yeah, the importance of daylight to our well-being. Pretty simple, straightforward. I know you've got to figure out, what does your version of that look like for your routine, your life. I can't tell you that. I'll try and remember to share the links. Bless up. One love. Peace.